There was a comment on a recent video of mine that had a good question. It says, what's the difference between your God and an imaginary God? So I see the evidence for the God of the Bible as an accumulative case. People like to focus on one thing at a time, very specific details. And I think that's very important. But I see the evidence as something that collects all together in a big heap of evidence. This necklace is rubbing my zipper. Just put that right there. And I think the Bible is often undervalued as evidence. The library of 66 books we call the Bible tells this story throughout of the faithfulness of Yahweh to his people throughout history. And it's expectant of a descendant who will be a Messiah figure, one who is prophesied with various details. Well, after 400 years of silence during what we would call the intertestamental period, here comes Jesus. We're told by the New Testament writers that he shows up as a baby, aligning with Isaiah 9:6. He's born of a virgin, Isaiah 7:14. He makes all these claims about himself being the Messiah while doing miracles in public. He dies while taking on the sins of his people, Isaiah 53, and ultimately resurrecting, or some might say, prolonging his days like it says in Isaiah 53 as well. Read Isaiah 53. It's amazing. So we see Jesus click with these prophecies about the Messiah. And these New Testament writers, many of whom knew Jesus, tell this story to a culture that was hostile towards their ideas and them. They put themselves in danger. They knew their rabbi was crucified. So I think you have to ask what would motivate them to do this. Then there are other small pieces of this accumulation that are interesting, like the writers using women as the first witnesses to the empty tomb in a time and culture where the testimony of women was not taken very seriously. You have Paul's conversion, this guy who was a Jew who was persecuting Christians, had this crazy conversion experience and became a hero of the Christian faith. I think we have to ask the question, how would humans come up with this library that we call the Bible? With this incredible cohesive story, people are going to immediately go, oh, there's contradictions. I don't believe that, but that's a conversation one can have. I'm talking about if you look at it from 30,000 feet, the themes, the prophecies, the progression and the flow of the story of Yahweh and the Jewish people, the consistency of teaching. You can put the writings of all these writers together and it makes sense. That's incredible. It becomes more and more compelling the more you put it together. This is nothing like anything we have regarding any other God. The texts are different. The historical context is different. The evidence is totally different. So yeah, God bless.